That snap is crispiness, and listen. That is a crispy cookie. That is a low-calorie crispy cookie. I've made a video on big gooey cookies. I've made a video on small chewy cookies, and today we tackle crispy cookies. What is your favorite kind of cookie? Are you a chewy cookie person or a crispy cookie person? Let me know in the comments down below. I am for sure team chewy, but a lot of you guys I know like crispy cookies, especially those green packaged Tate's cookies. So today we're gonna make low-calorie crispy cookies at home. Oat fiber. You know how people say oatmeal has a lot of fiber? It doesn't. Read the back of an oatmeal label. It doesn't have much fiber at all, but this stuff is actual fiber, pure fiber, 0-calorie fiber. It's called oat fiber. It's not oatmeal. If you use this and you try to make oatmeal out of it, you will throw up. It's basically a powdery substance. It has no calories. It doesn't taste very good on its own, but we're gonna add flavor to this. So we're gonna use it in these cookies to get some bulk, to get some fiber and some volume, and then flavor this on later. So the recipe starts with 2 tablespoons of oat fiber, which is 18 grams. The brand you use can completely change the game. This is a pretty good brand. I like the taste of it. It doesn't taste weird. New Naturals, New Natties. I'm gonna link it in the description down below. But remember, this stuff tastes like cardboard on its own. So we're gonna add some PB2, the best powdery substance in the world. I don't think anything beats it. 2.5 tablespoons of this, or 18 grams. If you're risky like me, don't use a spoon, just shake it. Something about PB2 that just is so tasty, and it adds protein to this, not a lot of calories, and this is where a lot of the flavor comes from, so you need to use this. If you're not a fan of peanut butter, I am sorry, but what is wrong with you? And then for more absorbency, coconut flour. Coconut flour is way more absorbent than regular flour, and it also has more fiber than regular flour. So you need to use a little amount to get the same amount of absorption that a regular flour would give you. Hence, this is lower calorie. 10 grams or 1.5 tablespoons. So these are gonna be like peanutty, coconutty cookies that are crispy. Trust me, the flavor combination is really good. You might not have thought about it before, but now you have to do it. A small pinch of baking powder, what did I say? A small pinch of baking soda, not baking powder. Baking powder will give these rise, which we don't want because we want these thin and crispy. Tiny, tiny pinch of baking powder. Baking soda, tiny pinch of baking soda. And then this. Guess what this is? Leave it in the comments down below. If you know, you know. But if you don't, this is erythritol, the best sweetener ever. I use this, I never use sugar, way better. Just get it, use it, don't think about it. This has 0 calories. Guess what? This is this in a blender, because this is like granulated sugar. You know how powdered sugar is like powdery? Take granulated erythritol, throw it in a blender, it becomes into a powder, way cheaper, way more affordable than buying those really expensive artificial powdered sweeteners. 45 grams of this. If you say anything about that being too much sweetener, guys, we're making cookies. Regular cookies have a ton of sweetener in them. We are not going to use a lot of sugar. Instead, we're going to use powdered sweetener. And yes, we're still going to need to use a lot because we're making cookies. We are not making salad. So 45 grams. And a pinch of salt. Guys, you need salt in cookies. It brings out all the flavor. And a lot of vanilla extract. Like, if you like vanilla extract, just use as much as you want. Just put it in there. Guys, we need to add flavor to this, and that is gonna come from vanilla extract. I love when cookies have a strong vanilla flavor. Yeah, not exciting. Time to add water. We wanna add a little bit of water at a time until this forms a thick cookie dough. Start with 60 grams or 2 tablespoons, and then mix. If you have any other extracts that you really like hazelnut extract, like cookie butter extract, guys, I still don't know who Loran is, but thank you for making cookie butter and hazelnut extract. They go great in this. Mix this really well because we don't want any clumps of oat fiber. That would not be very good. You want the PB2 dispersed absolutely everywhere, but eventually you're gonna get something like this. You see how that's pretty thick? That is what you want. And now just let it sit for a few minutes because the oat fiber is gonna thicken this up and absorb more liquid. And then we're gonna get into the cookie making. It's gonna be pretty thick. I like to grab a small scoop like this and just dollop it on and distribute the mixture into as many cookies as you wanna make. Do you wanna make more small cookies, fewer bigger cookies? Completely up to you. But I'm gonna make 8 cookies because that's what I feel like making. So once you have all your dough scooped out, you want to use your fingers to press it down really thin and try to make the best circle you can. Are you gonna make a perfect circle? No. I'm setting the expectations low right now. So don't expect to make perfect circles, but will you get close? No. But will you make a cookie? Yes. And that's all that matters. So just press it down super thin. The thinner, the crispier. Like this, just 2-finger it. It's gonna stick to the parchment anyway. Use parchment, don't use foil. You will hate yourself. These are really thin. Are they perfect circles? No, but close enough. Sometimes all you need to do is be close enough. Unless you're decline benching without a spotter. In that case, close enough means you're decapitated. But semi-sweet mini chocolate chips. These are what I'm gonna use to top these off. Mini is better than regular chocolate chips just because you get smaller chips you just get more chips, okay? For the same amount of grams and calories, you just get more chips. They're smaller, you can spread them out more, it's just way better. I have 7 grams, which is half a tablespoon, but use as much as your heart desires. I'm just gonna put them on evenly between all of these cookies. It's crazy how just 7 grams or half tablespoon of mini chocolate chips, only 35 calories, you get a good amount, honestly. Mini might not always be better. I'd like to think it would, but not always. But with chocolate chips, I'm gonna say it's better. And we are ready to bake these. These need to bake low and slow because we wanna kind of dehydrate them in a way and get that water out of here so they can turn really, really crispy. So take these, put them in your oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. Low and slow, get these crispy. So after 20 to 25 minutes in the oven, I had mine at exactly 22 minutes at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. You're gonna notice that they are not crispy yet. We want these super crispy, and from my experience, parchment paper just doesn't work that well, but if you initially started with parchment paper, these would stick so bad. Now, you can kind of get in there with a spatula and just pick all of these cookies up off of the parchment. They won't stick if you just slide a spatula in there. So we're gonna transfer these to foil and bake them for a little bit longer. You can start to see the edges are getting crispy, but the middle is a little bit gooey. These, honestly, on their own, are pretty delicious. But we're going for that crispy cookie, you know what I mean? Can't stop here. Can't stop, won't stop. There's something with just baking on parchment paper versus foil. Foil works better for cookies. It just does. Parchment paper is so non-stick, the bottom gets a little steamed up and not super crispy, but foil solves our problems. So these, 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 minutes, and we're good to go. Let them cool completely. I tossed these in my freezer for 5 minutes because I am impatient. I want to eat these. So let's see, and let's test the crispiness. Crispy. The thinner you make these, the crispier they will be for sure, but do you hear that? You can taste a little bit of oatiness, but the PB2 for sure comes through. And that is the main flavor in this. It's like chocolate, peanut butter, a little bit of coconutty, and crispy. And a little bit of chocolate chips that hit you. That snap, Watch this. They snap like crispy cookies. Thank you so much for watching the video. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Tell me if you like crispy or chewy cookies. I'm a chewy guy. I don't know why, but I am. And I will see you in the next video. That snapped in the wrong place. It's supposed to snap in half. There we go.